On the distant planet of Zorathia, a quiet village rested between glowing hills and misty rivers. The village was small, strange, and old, and most visitors avoided it because of the stories everyone whispered about the twin alien girls who lived at the edge of the forest. No one remembered when the twins had arrived, or how they came to be alone. But the villagers all agreed on one thing. The twins smelled so bad that no one could stand near them. The twins, Zara and Lila, were identical in every way, with large, shining eyes, silver hair that fell to their shoulders, and tiny, delicate bodies, yet despite their beauty, a strange odor clung to them constantly, a smell that no bath or soap could remove. The villagers treated them like ghosts, pointing at them behind their backs, keeping children and animals far away, and refusing to sell them food or clothes. Every day, the twins wandered through the forest, picking wild fruits and drinking from the river, speaking softly to each other because no one else would listen. Zara often looked at the village from a distance, longing to join in, but fear held her back. She watched children play near the river, laughing and running, wishing she could run with them, but the sharp smell she carried kept everyone away. Lila would gently touch her sister's hand, whispering, "It's okay, we have each other." And for a moment, the sadness in their hearts was eased. On a foggy morning, a human ship descended from the sky, landing with a soft hum near the village. The villagers watched nervously, whispering, "Another human has come. Will he leave like the others?" From the ship, a human stepped out, tall, curious, with kind eyes and a cautious smile. His name was Marcus, and he had traveled across galaxies searching for stories, mysteries, and adventures. Marcus wandered through the village, noticing the silence and the strange fear in the villagers' eyes. He asked simple questions, greeted people politely, and yet every answer led him back to the story of the twins. He felt a pull in his heart, a strange feeling he had never felt before. Something about these lonely alien girls called to him, and he knew he had to see them. Through the misty forest, Marcus spotted two small figures sitting near the riverbank. Their silver hair shimmered in the morning light, and their large eyes peeked out from under hoods. He could see their hands trembling as they clutched each other's arms, and the sorrow in their faces made his chest ache. Despite the rumors of their smell, he felt no disgust, only curiosity and compassion. As he approached slowly, the twins noticed him, and fear filled their eyes. They stood up immediately, whispering to each other in their soft alien language, "Stay back. Don't come near us." But Marcus only smiled gently, keeping his distance at first. "I won't hurt you," he said in a soft voice. "I just want to help." The twins hesitated, unsure if anyone had ever meant those words before. Zara stepped forward cautiously, tilting her head, her silver hair flowing in the light breeze. "Why are you here?" she asked, her voice small and trembling. Lila peeked from behind her sister, ready to run if needed. Marcus knelt slightly to appear less threatening. "I heard stories about you," he said simply. "I wanted to see the truth for myself. I wanted to know who you are, and why everyone avoids you." For a moment, silence filled the air. The twins looked at each other, wondering if this human was different from all the others. Did he care about the smell? Did he care about the loneliness? Could anyone care? Marcus extended his hand slowly, not touching them, just showing his intention to be kind. Zara's hand twitched, almost reaching for his, but she stopped, afraid yet curious. The river flowed nearby, mist rising from its surface. Birds chirped in the distance, and the forest seemed to hold its breath. Marcus waited patiently, his eyes soft, showing no judgment, no disgust. "Only interest and care. I can help," he whispered. "I can make things better, but you have to let me." Lila's eyes widened, unsure if she should trust him, but the hope in her heart was too strong to ignore. And then something unexpected happened. A small smile flickered on Zara's lips, the first smile she had shown anyone in years. Lila followed, and the twins held each other tightly. A mixture of fear and hope in their hearts, Marcus smiled back, knowing that the first step toward change had begun. A story that everyone thought was sad, lonely, and hopeless was about to take a turn no one had expected. From that moment, the forest, the twins, and the quiet village waited silently for the next step. The human had arrived, and something extraordinary was about to unfold, something that could change the lives of the forgotten twins forever. The morning sun broke through the mist, casting golden light over the forest where Zara and Lila sat nervously. Their silver hair glimmered faintly, and their large eyes darted between each other and the human who had appeared seemingly from nowhere. Marcus remained calm, giving them space, yet his eyes never left them. He felt a strange connection, a pull of curiosity and care he could not explain. "I want to understand you," Marcus said softly, his voice gentle and warm. "I want to know your story, your life, and your pain." The twins stiffened, unsure if they could trust anyone ever again. "No one ever cared before," Zara whispered, her voice trembling like a tiny bird's. Lila hugged her sister's arm, silent but agreeing. Marcus nodded as if he understood. "Then let me be the first," he said calmly. "I don't care about the smell." "I care about you." Zara tilted her head, studying him with suspicion. "Why do you care?" she asked, her voice quiet, almost lost in the rustling leaves. "Everyone else only wants to stay away," Lila added, a faint frown crossing her delicate face. Marcus smiled faintly. "Because sometimes, what others avoid can be the most important. Because everyone deserves kindness. And maybe I can help you feel safe." The twins exchanged glances. Hesitant but curious, no human had ever spoken to them like this. No one had ever tried to understand them. "We live at the edge of the forest," Zara said finally. "We are alone and everyone avoids us, our smell. It makes people angry or scared," Lila nodded. "Even children run when they see us and our food is never enough. We survive by ourselves." Marcus listened carefully, nodding slowly. "I see," he said softly. "You have been abandoned. And no one has shown care or patience, but I can help. If you let me." The twins looked at each other, a mix of hope and fear in their eyes. Could this stranger be different from everyone else? Could someone truly care for them without judgment? "Why are you here, human?" Zara asked, her voice steadier now. "Most humans leave after a few hours. Some don't even stop to ask questions, they only look, judge, and go." Marcus crouched slightly to appear less threatening. "I came because I believe there is more to your story. Something important that people refuse to see. Maybe even something beautiful." Lila blinked, unsure if she should trust him. "Beautiful? We are ugly and terrible, everyone says so." Marcus shook his head. "No, you are not terrible, you are not ugly. You are just misunderstood. And maybe the world has never given you a chance to show who you really are." A silence fell over the forest, broken only by the gentle flow of the nearby river. Birds chirped softly and the leaves whispered in the breeze. The twins felt a strange warmth, a sensation that had been missing for so long. "We don't know how to trust anyone," Zara said, almost in a whisper. "We tried once. But they laughed, they ran, they hurt us." Marcus smiled softly. "Then we start small," he suggested. "No pressure, no rush, I will only do what you allow. We will take it one step at a time." The twins hesitated, but the sincerity in his eyes made them pause. Could they risk hope again? Could they allow someone into their lonely world? After a moment, Lila whispered, Maybe we can try." Zara nodded slowly, though her eyes remained cautious. "We will try. But don't leave us." Marcus's smile widened slightly. "I won't leave," he promised, his voice full of certainty. "I want to learn about you, your world, and how we can make it better together." The forest seemed to exhale, the air lighter, as if it understood the change that was beginning. Marcus took a step closer, still careful not to invade their space. "Tell me about your life," he said. "Where you live, what you eat, what makes you happy or sad." The twins hesitated, but slowly they began to speak, sharing small details, tiny joys and long-held fears as they spoke. Marcus listened without interruption, asking gentle questions, encouraging them to describe the things they loved but never shared. Zara laughed quietly when she spoke about a bird she liked. Lila smiled faintly when she described the colors of the sunset from the forest edge. It was the first time in years that someone truly listened, that someone truly cared. By the time the sun was higher in the sky, a subtle change had begun. The twins felt a glimmer of trust, a faint hope that perhaps not all humans were cruel, that maybe someone could care for them despite everything. Marcus remained patient, letting the moment grow slowly, never forcing, only guiding with kindness, and in the quiet forest the first seeds of friendship. Curiosity and trust were planted. The twins no longer felt completely alone, and the human no longer felt like a stranger. Something new, something unexpected was starting. A story that had been sad and lonely for years was beginning to change. The forest held its breath, waiting for the next step, for the human to show care in a world that had refused it, and for the twins to discover a life that could be more than just solitude and rejection. Marcus returned the next morning, carrying a small bundle of supplies from his ship. Water containers, gentle soaps, soft cloths, and small brushes were carefully packed. The twins watched from the edge of the forest, unsure if they should approach. Their silver hair glimmered in the early light, but their eyes were cautious, filled with fear and curiosity. "I brought things that can help you," Marcus said softly, keeping his distance. "You don't have to do anything you don't want. Just let me show you a little." Zara tilted her head, uncertain. "A little? What do you mean?" Marcus smiled faintly. "Just a small step, nothing more. I want to help you feel clean, comfortable, and cared for. No one should live feeling rejected because of something you can't control." Lila peeked from behind her sister, her eyes wide. "No one has ever said that to us," she whispered. "They only ran, laughed, or ignored us." Marcus knelt slightly, showing he meant no harm. "Then let's start slowly. We don't need to rush. You will guide me and I will follow your pace." The twins exchanged a glance, a mix of fear and hope flickering in their eyes. Slowly, cautiously, Zara stepped forward, holding out her small hand. Will it hurt?" she asked softly. Lila hesitated but stepped beside her sister. "We don't want to be hurt again." Marcus shook his head gently. "I will not hurt you, I promise. You are safe with me." With trembling hands, Marcus opened the bundle, showing soft cloths and small brushes. He poured warm water into a container, letting the twins see and feel it. "This is just water," he said. "Nothing scary, nothing strange, just warmth and comfort." Zara took a small step forward, dipping her fingers into the water. She looked at Marcus, silently asking if it was really safe. He nodded, smiling gently. The twins slowly allowed Marcus to guide them, showing them how to wash their arms, faces, and hair with soft motions. At first they flinched and turned away, memories of rejection and fear making them hesitate. But Marcus's patience was endless. Never scolding, never rushing, only encouraging gently. "You're doing fine," he said. "It's okay to feel nervous. Take your time." As the water touched their skin, the twins felt a strange sensation. Warmth and softness replacing years of discomfort. A faint smell began to fade, the scent of the forest and soap mixing with the water. Lila laughed quietly, surprised. It doesn't smell so bad anymore." Zara's eyes widened, hope flickering for the first time. "Really? Can it really change?" Marcus nodded, carefully cleaning their hair with a soft brush. His hands gentle, careful not to hurt. The twins felt something they had never felt before. Trust, care, and a strange comfort that made them want to stay. The forest around them seemed to watch silently, as if even the trees were curious about this transformation. Minutes passed, then hours, and slowly, the twins began to relax, letting Marcus help more. Their laughter came softly at first, like tiny bells in the wind. "This feels nice," Zara whispered. We never felt nice before." Lila nodded, eyes bright. "Thank you for helping us," Marcus smiled. "No need to thank me. I am happy to see you smile." By midday, the twins were completely cleaned. Their silver hair shimmered like light on water. Their skin glowed softly, and their eyes sparkled with something new. Hope, confidence, and trust. Villagers peeked from a distance, whispering, shocked by the change. "Are those the same twins?" one asked. "They look beautiful." Another shook his head. "Impossible. How did a human do this?" The twins laughed, playing with the water, their voices soft and musical. Marcus joined carefully, making sure to keep their trust. He helped them brush their hair, dry their skin, and wear simple clothes he had brought. It was not just a physical transformation, it was emotional, a small healing for wounds that had lasted years. As the sun began to lower, painting the forest in golden hues, Zara and Lila sat beside Marcus, tired but happy. We never had anyone care for us like this," Zara whispered. "No one has ever tried." Lila nodded. "It feels strange but good," Marcus smiled. "That is how it should feel. Everyone deserves care and kindness. You deserve happiness too." And in that quiet forest, under the golden sunlight, the first true bond began. The twins had allowed a human to touch their lives, to change the way they saw themselves. And Marcus felt the weight of responsibility and honor, knowing that this trust was fragile, precious and rare. A story that had been sad, lonely, and filled with fear was beginning to blossom. A story of care, courage, and hope was slowly unfolding. The twins and the human sat together, looking at the forest around them, knowing that this was only the beginning of something extraordinary. The first touch of care had begun, and nothing would ever be the same. The next morning, the forest seemed brighter than usual, sunlight spilling through the tall trees and reflecting on the silver hair of the twins. Zara and Lila, they had slept better than they had in years, feeling warmth in their hearts from the care Marcus had shown. As they stepped outside, they noticed how the forest looked calmer, almost welcoming, as if it had approved the small change that had begun. Marcus was already waiting, carrying a small basket of food and soft blankets. He smiled as he saw the twins approach. "Good morning," he said gently. "I hope you slept well." Zara nodded, her eyes shining with a mixture of curiosity and happiness. We slept well. It was nice," Lila added quietly. "We didn't feel afraid." Marcus knelt to their level. "That's good. That is how it should feel, being safe and cared for." Over the next few hours, the twins began to follow Marcus around, curious about everything he did. He showed them how to prepare simple meals, how to carry water from the river safely, and how to use the soft brushes and soaps to keep themselves clean. The twins listened carefully, asking questions, laughing softly when they learned something new, and marveling at small things they had never noticed before. "Why does your world look so different?" Zara asked as they walked along a flower-covered path, pointing at the vibrant colors Marcus had shown her. "We have been in the forest so long. Everything was always dull and scary." Lila nodded. "It's hard to imagine that life could be so bright." Marcus smiled. "Your world can be bright too if you allow yourself to see it. It is not just the colors outside, but the care and kindness inside that makes it bright." The villagers began to notice the twins' transformation, peeking from windows and doorways, whispering among themselves, "Look at them, they are shining." One said, "How can that be?" Another asked, "A human helped them?" A child whispered, eyes wide with amazement. Some villagers were jealous of the attention the twins were getting. Others were curious, and a few felt ashamed for having ignored or shunned them for so long. The twins were unaware of the full effect they were having on the village. Their minds focused on the kindness Marcus had shown. They laughed softly when he taught them small games from his world, touching leaves, skipping stones in the river, and observing animals that came close without fear. Each moment of play, each gentle word from Marcus, built trust between them, making the twins feel safe and loved for the first time. By mid-afternoon, Marcus suggested they explore a nearby meadow, a place full of wildflowers and soft grass. "This is my favorite place," he said quietly. "I like it here because it feels peaceful and free." Zara twirled in the grass, feeling the soft petals brush against her skin, laughing softly. It feels wonderful." Lila sat beside Marcus, watching butterflies flutter past. "I never knew life could feel like this. So calm and happy." As they played, a few villagers gathered at the edge of the meadow, curious but hesitant. "Are those really the twins?" One whispered. "They look different, happy, almost human in their smiles." Another shook his head. "I have never seen anyone care for them before. How is it possible?" The twins noticed the villagers but did not feel fear. Marcus gently said, "Do not worry. They are only watching. They will understand in time. Let them see that kindness changes everything." By evening, the twins had learned not just about washing and caring for themselves, but about friendship and trust. Small gestures, laughing together, sharing food, holding hands while walking, showed them that connection was possible. Marcus had taught them that the world did not have to be cruel, and that being different did not mean being alone. As the sun set, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold, Zara and Lila sat beside Marcus, tired but happy. We never thought anyone could care for us like this," Zara said softly, looking up at the stars beginning to appear. Lila leaned on her sister. "It feels like a new life," Marcus smiled, gently placing a hand on their shoulders. "It is a new life, one that is waiting for you to live fully, with trust, friendship, and care." Even the villagers began to approach slowly, bringing small gifts, food, and words of apology, watching how the twins had changed. Their fear and suspicion were replaced by curiosity, and some by admiration. They whispered among themselves, realizing that the human had done what they could not, showing patience, kindness, and courage to change the world of two abandoned alien girls. And so, in that quiet forest and near the small village, a new chapter began, one where the twins discovered that life could be more than loneliness and rejection, that friendship and kindness could open doors to a brighter world. Marcus had not only helped them physically, but had taught them the value of trust, connection, and care. The forest seemed to hum softly around them, birds returning to sing, animals venturing closer, and the twins laughing freely for the first time in years. Acceptance and friendship had begun, and the story of Zara, Lila, and the human had only just begun to unfold. The twins, Zara and Lila, had never felt safer, walking beside Marcus through the forest and laughing at small games. Their silver hair shimmered under the morning sun, and their eyes sparkled with a newfound trust. But even in this calm, shadows of fear still lingered. The forest whispered secrets that no one could fully understand, and the village still held glances of suspicion from those who had never known kindness. As they explored a narrow path near the river, a sudden rustle in the bushes made the twins stop in their tracks. "What was that?" Lila whispered, clutching Zara's arm. Their ears twitched nervously, and their large eyes scanned the forest. Marcus put a hand gently on their shoulders. "Stay calm, it is probably just an animal. Nothing to fear," he said, his voice steady but alert. Before they could relax, a strange growl echoed through the trees, low and menacing. A pack of wild alien predators emerged from the forest, their eyes glowing and teeth sharp. The twins froze, their fear returning in an instant. We can't fight them," Zara whispered. Panic in her voice, Lila hid behind her sister. Trembling, Marcus stepped forward, placing himself between the twins and the predators. "Stay behind me," he ordered calmly, though his heart raced. He reached into his bag and pulled out a small energy flare. Lighting it to scare the creatures, the predators hissed and stepped back, but they did not leave, circling slowly, testing Marcus and the twins. The twins watched in awe and terror, realizing how brave Marcus was. He is protecting us," Lila whispered, voice shaking. No one has ever done that." Zara nodded, feeling a strange mix of fear and gratitude. Their trust in him grew even stronger, for he faced danger without hesitation. Just to keep them safe, the pack advanced again, and Marcus used the flare to create a circle of light. Hoping to intimidate the predators, he grabbed a sturdy branch, ready to defend the twins with all his strength. "Run if you can," he instructed. But the twins stayed, rooted by fear and trust. They knew he would not let anything happen to them. Hours seemed to pass as the standoff continued. The predators moved closer, then backed away, circling and growling. The twins huddled together, holding Marcus's hands, feeling the courage he gave them. We can do this together," Zara whispered softly. Lila nodded. "Yes, together." Their small voices were full of determination, reflecting the bond they had built with Marcus. Finally, Marcus spotted a narrow path leading to a cliff above the river. He motioned for the twins to follow, moving carefully and slowly. "Stay close to me step by step. Trust me." The twins followed, their hands gripping his tightly, hearts pounding. Every step felt like an eternity, but the determination to survive and stay together kept them moving. When they reached the cliff, Marcus used a small device to create a temporary energy barrier, blocking the predators from advancing. The creatures snarled and tried to find another way, but eventually, frustrated, they retreated into the forest, disappearing into the shadows. The twins collapsed onto the soft grass, gasping for air, their hearts still racing but filled with relief. Zara looked at Marcus with tears in her eyes. You saved us," she whispered, barely able to speak. Lila hugged him tightly. We thought we would never be safe. But you protected us." Marcus smiled softly, brushing their hair gently. "I promised I would, and I always will. No one should live in fear, especially those who have never known care and trust." For the first time, the twins realized the depth of their bond with Marcus. This human was not just kind, he was brave, patient, and willing to risk everything for them. A wave of emotion washed over them, gratitude mixed with admiration, trust mixed with hope. Their lives, once lonely and full of fear, were changing in ways they had never imagined. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with orange and pink, Marcus led the twins back toward the village, their hands intertwined, hearts still beating fast from the encounter. Villagers who had been watching from a distance whispered in amazement. "He faced danger for them? No human would do that," another said. Maybe kindness is stronger than fear." The twins walked beside Marcus, smiling softly, tired but brave. They knew this was only the beginning. That life with him would bring more challenges, but also safety, love, and hope. And in the quiet forest, the first real lesson of courage, trust, and bravery had been learned. The human had not only saved them from danger, but had shown them what it truly meant to care. The shadows of the forest faded with the light of the setting sun, and the twins felt a warmth in their hearts stronger than fear. They had faced a threat together and had survived. And in that survival, their bond with Marcus became unbreakable. A new chapter was beginning, one filled with trust, friendship, and the promise of a life no longer ruled by fear. The forest was calm the next morning, birds singing softly as sunlight filtered through the tall trees. Zara and Lila walked beside Marcus, their hands brushing his as they moved along the river path. The twins had changed so much since the day he first appeared, their silver hair shining brightly, their eyes no longer fearful but full of curiosity and trust. Marcus watched them with quiet pride, amazed at how resilient and brave they had become. "You two are incredible," he said softly, smiling. "You have grown stronger than you know." Zara looked at him, her large eyes sparkling. We feel stronger because of you," Lila added. "You taught us trust, and we have never felt this safe before." Marcus nodded, feeling a warmth in his heart he had never known. The twins had begun to follow him willingly, eager to learn, play, and explore. Their laughter echoed through the forest, soft and musical, drawing curious villagers to peek from behind trees and windows. "They are happy," one whispered. "We have never seen them like this." Another shook his head in disbelief. "A human did this? It seems impossible." As the day passed, Marcus guided the twins to a quiet clearing near the river, where soft grass and wildflowers created a peaceful space. "This is a special place," he said, kneeling to their level. "I come here to think, to plan, and to dream." Zara and Lila sat beside him, listening intently, feeling the calmness in the air. We like it here," Lila said softly. "It feels safe and happy." Marcus took a deep breath, looking at the twins with affection and care. "There is something I have been thinking about for a long time," he said quietly, his voice steady but full of emotion. "I want to take care of you both, not just for a day, but forever. I want to share my life with you, to make sure you are never lonely, afraid, or abandoned again." The twins stared at him, shocked and unsure what to say. Their hearts raced, not with fear this time, but with a strange, exciting hope. "Forever?" Zara whispered, her voice trembling with wonder. Lila blinked. You mean, live with us? Stay with us?" Marcus nodded, smiling gently. "Yes, forever. I want to protect you, care for you, and be part of your life. If you will allow me." For a moment, silence fell over the clearing, broken only by the gentle rustle of leaves and the soft flow of the river. The twins looked at each other, processing this new reality. We never thought someone could care for us like this," Zara said quietly, tears forming in her eyes. Lila hugged her sister. "It feels too good to be true." Marcus extended his hand toward them. "I am asking you to trust me completely, to join me in a life where we care for each other, share our joys and face challenges together. You have taught me as much as I have taught you, and I want to make our bond permanent, not just with words, but with life itself." Zara hesitated, then slowly placed her hand in his, feeling the warmth and sincerity radiating from him. Lila followed, holding both their hands together. Their hearts beat rapidly, but a sense of certainty and hope filled them. We trust you," Zara whispered. "We want to be with you," Lila nodded. "Yes, together always." Marcus's eyes filled with emotion, a smile spreading across his face. "Then it is settled," he said softly. "We will face the future together, as a family, as partners, as friends, as something stronger than loneliness or fear." The twins smiled, the first full bright smiles they had shown anyone, feeling safe, valued, and loved for who they truly were. The forest seemed to celebrate their decision, sunlight glinting off the river, birds singing louder, and flowers swaying gently in the breeze. Villagers watched from a distance, whispering among themselves, "They are together," one said, eyes wide. "It seems like happiness is real." Another nodded. A human showed them care, and now they are loved. That evening, Marcus and the twins sat beside the river, sharing food and laughter, talking about small dreams. favorite places, and hopes for the future. Zara leaned against him, feeling secure, while Lila held his hand tightly. The bond they had built over weeks of care, trust, and adventure had grown into something unbreakable. Marcus looked at them, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "I never imagined that meeting you would change my life this much," he said softly. "You have taught me patience, courage, and the true meaning of family." Zara smiled. "And you have taught us that we can be loved even when no one else believed in us," Lila nodded. "Yes, you gave us hope," as the stars appeared in the sky. Reflecting on the calm river, Marcus, Zara, and Lila sat together in silence, feeling the warmth of connection and unity. They had faced fear, danger, and loneliness, but now they had something stronger: trust, care, and the promise of a life together. The proposal was not just words, but a commitment to face the future side by side forever. And in that quiet forest, a new chapter began, one of love, trust, and unity. The human and the twins were no longer alone, no longer feared, and no longer rejected. They had found family, friendship, and a life full of hope. The story that had started with loneliness and sorrow was now filled with light, courage, and the promise of happiness. The morning sun bathed the village in warm light, casting soft shadows over the paths and houses. Zara and Lila walked beside Marcus, their laughter echoing softly through the streets. The twins no longer moved with fear or hesitation. Their silver hair shone brightly and their eyes sparkled with happiness, reflecting a life they had never imagined before. Marcus carried a small basket of fresh fruits, offering them to the twins with a gentle smile. "Here, I thought you might like these," he said softly. The twins accepted eagerly, savoring the sweet taste. "It's delicious," Zara said. Her voice filled with delight. Lila nodded. "Yes. It feels like we can finally enjoy life." The villagers peeked from windows and doorways, curious but slowly growing accustomed to the sight. The twins no longer hid, and Marcus walked openly beside them, showing the bond they had built. Whispers spread through the village. "They look happy and safe," one villager said. "I never thought we would see this," another added. Some still hesitated, but most were quietly impressed by the courage, care, and patience that had brought this change. Marcus led the twins to a small house he had repaired near the edge of the forest. Its walls brightened with flowers and soft lights. "This will be our home," he said, kneeling to show them inside. "A place where we can be safe, happy, and free to live as we choose." Zara's eyes widened in awe. "Our own home?" she whispered. Lila hugged her sister tightly. "It feels like a dream." Over the next few days, the twins learned to enjoy life in ways they had never imagined. They cooked simple meals with Marcus, played in the meadow, and explored the nearby forest with curiosity instead of fear. Each day brought laughter, joy, and new lessons. The small house filled with warmth, love, and the kind of happiness that only trust and care could bring. Marcus taught them simple skills from his human world, showing them how to write letters, collect fruit safely, and care for the small animals nearby. The twins absorbed everything eagerly, sometimes stumbling, sometimes laughing, but always learning. Their bond with Marcus grew stronger with every moment, not just as protector and cared for, but as a family, as companions, and as friends. The villagers slowly approached, bringing small gifts, food, and greetings. At first, Zara and Lila were cautious, but Marcus encouraged them to accept. "They only want to show respect," he said softly. "See, they can learn too." The twins smiled politely, realizing that even the villagers who had once ignored or shunned them could change. Kindness, patience, and courage had opened the hearts of those around them. One afternoon, a group of children ran to the twins. Curious and smiling, "Can we play with you?" one asked shyly. Zara laughed softly. "Yes, you can," Lila nodded. "Come, we will show you the games we know." The children followed eagerly, learning from the twins and laughing freely. The forest echoed with joyful voices, a harmony of life that had been missing for so long. Marcus watched quietly, his heart full of pride. "Look at them," he whispered to himself. "They are not just safe, they are thriving, happy, and loved." He realized that his small acts of kindness and courage had done more than change the lives of the twins. They had changed the village, too, teaching everyone that care and patience could heal even the deepest wounds. As evening fell, the three of them sat outside their home, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of gold. Pink and orange, the twins leaned against Marcus, feeling the warmth and security that came from a life shared with someone who truly cared. "We never thought life could be like this," Zara said softly. "We thought we would always be alone," Lila nodded. "Now, we feel safe, loved, and part of something bigger," Marcus smiled, brushing their silver hair gently. "You are part of a family now," he said. "A family built on trust, courage, and kindness. Together we can face anything, we can explore, learn, and live fully, without fear." The twins' eyes shone with tears of happiness, their hearts full of gratitude and hope. They had found a place to belong, a life they had dreamed of but never dared to imagine. The village gradually accepted the new family fully. Their story of change, trust, and care became an inspiration whispered among neighbors, told to children, and remembered by everyone. It was a story that proved even those who were abandoned, shunned, or lonely could find happiness if someone had the courage and kindness to care. And so the human and the twin aliens began their new life together, a life filled with laughter, learning, friendship, and love. The forest and village watched silently, almost protectively, as if approving of the harmony that had finally been created. The twins no longer smelled of fear or sorrow, but of hope, care, and joy. And Marcus had found something precious. Two souls he could cherish forever. The sun dipped below the horizon, the stars appearing one by one, reflecting on the calm river, and the three of them sat together quietly, hearts intertwined, ready to face every new day as a family, united, happy, and stronger than ever before. The story that had begun with loneliness, fear, and rejection had blossomed into one of trust, courage, love, and a new life together.